Hello, in this video I'm going to explain the 9 different types of input triggers found in Unreal Engine's enhanced input system. We can use the input triggers to define the specific rules for what will cause our input actions to trigger, start, go to ongoing, go to cancelled, or completed. For example, we could have an input trigger which requires us to hold multiple keys down at the same time in order to trigger the input. With that said, let's go into all of the 9 different input triggers. To get started, I'm in the third person template. And if I just go over to my input folder, there's going to be this thing called the input mapping context default. This basically stores all of the different controls that I have in my game. I'm just going to go over to the actions folder. Here we can define certain actions that we want to have. For this tutorial, I'm just going to right click and go over to input, select input action, and I'm just going to call this input action underscore test. Then if I go over to my third person character, if I just go to this part which says add input mapping, this basically uses this node, add mapping context, and this adds all of the different controls to my game. So now if I just right click, I can look for the input action underscore test, and if I just expand this, and depending on how we use an input trigger, it can cause the triggered node to be fired, the started node to be fired, the ongoing node to be fired, the cancelled or the completed node to be fired. Just so that I can see when each of these nodes is being fired, I'm just going to add a print string to each of these. Okay, now that I've done this, I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to go over to my input folder and over to the input mapping default. I'm just going to add a new mapping. I'm going to call this input action test, and then I need to basically define the key that I want to press on my keyboard in order to perform the certain input action. So I'm going to make it when I press the Z button, it will perform the input action test. I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to go over to my actions folder and open up the input action test, because with our input actions we can also define triggers which will basically affect what happens to our input when we press it. So I'm just going to go add trigger, and now let's go over the 9 different types of triggers that we have inside Unreal Engine. First, let's go over the down input action. The way this will work is if I just close this and then I play my project, for as long as I'm pressing the Z key, it will fire the triggered node, and when I let go, it will also fire the completed node. Also, when you do first press the Z button, when we're on the down input trigger, the started node will fire as well. So affect the triggered, started, and the completed node. If I just expand it, there's this actuation threshold. This goes from a value of 0 to 1, and this basically represents like how hard you're pressing on your keyboard or controller in order to basically perform the action. So if this is at 1, then that basically means you have to fully hold down the key in order to basically perform the trigger. Next we have the hold. The way this will work is when I press the Z button, it's going to just fire on ongoing until I reach the hold time threshold. So let's make this 2. And when I'm holding Z, it'll basically go on ongoing, and then when I reach the threshold, it will reach triggered. So let's just go play. When I hold Z, it'll print string ongoing, and it'll also fire off the started node, and then after 2 seconds, it'll print string triggered, and then if I let go, it's completed. So with the hold, it'll be in ongoing until 2 seconds have passed, and then it'll go to the triggered node. And then you can define how long you want to basically wait until it should reach the triggered. So you can make this higher or shorter. If this is one shot, that'll basically mean it will only fire the trigger node once I reach it. So I just play my game and I press Z, it's ongoing. Then when I reach 2 seconds, we can see it only fires the triggered node once, and then it stops. It completes the action for us if it's on one shot. So if I do that again, we can see once I reach the 2 seconds, it goes to triggered and then completed. So that's how that one shot works. And then affected by time dilation, in Unreal Engine, there's this node called set global time dilation, where you can basically affect how fast everything in your game is happening. If you wanted it to be affected by this, you just check this. Next, let's go over to the hold and release. And this works in a kind of similar way. So this is going to represent how long I have to hold the key down for. So let's just make it, we can leave that the default. And then when I let go of a key, it's going to fire off the triggered and completed node. So I just close this and I go play. If I press Z, we can see it's ongoing. And then when I let go, it fires the triggered and completed node. And if I just tap it really quickly, we can see, because I didn't hold it for at least 0.5 seconds, you saw it print stringed ongoing and cancelled. So if I didn't hold this for enough time, then it'll be cancelled. Next up, we have the pressed. The way this works is pretty simple. Once I press the key, it will basically fire off the started and triggered and completed node. So if I just go play, when I press the key, we can see it fires off those 3 nodes. So pressing it instantly completes the input action. Next up, we have the pulse. The way this works is when I press the Z key, it will first fire off trigger once, and then you can see here we have this interval. For as long as I'm holding the Z key, every 1 second, it will basically print string another trigger. Here we have the trigger limit. This is how many times you want your key to pulse. If it's set to 0, you'll basically do this for an unlimited amount of times. If say you want the key to only fire the trigger node 5 times, then you'd put 5 here. So every 1 second, it should fire off the trigger node. So if I just close this and I go play, when I press Z, it actually print string triggered, and then every 1 second, you're going to see a red thing basically appear on my screen. That's it representing the trigger node. And then when I let go, it'll fire off the cancelled. Next up, we have the released. So the way this trigger will work is when I press the Z key, it will fire off the started node. Then I'll be on ongoing for as long as I'm holding the Z key. Then when I let go, it will fire off the completed and the triggered node. So if I just close this and I go play, when I press Z, we can see I'm on ongoing. It print strings ongoing. Then when I let go, it print strings completed and triggered. Next up, we have the tap. The way the tap trigger works is every 0.2 seconds, I have to continuously tap my Z input. Otherwise, the input will be cancelled. We can define how long we need the tap release time threshold to be. So I'll just make it 1 second. I'll close this and I'll go play. And I have to keep on pressing the Z key every 1 second. If I just hold it, then we can see, because I didn't tap it every 1 second, it cancelled the input. So I need to tap this every 1 second. If I don't, then it will cancel the input. Next, we have the chorded action. So the way this works is I need to be pressing down another key when I press the Z button in order for my input to work. So to test this out, I'm actually just going to create another input action. I'm just going to right click, I'll go input, I'll call this input action, I'll call this input action underscore X. And then I'm just going to go over to my input wrapping context. I will add input action X, and I'll make it so I have to press X in order to trigger this. Then I go back to my input action test. Here for the chorded action, I'm going to make it input action X. So basically, I'm going to need to be holding down and pressing the X key when I press the Z key in order for it to trigger and be started. So if I just close this and I go play, when I press X, then Z, we can see it triggers my input action, and then when I let go, it goes completed. Although if say I just try and press Z, nothing will happen. I have to press X first and then Z for it to work. So that's how the chorded action trigger works. Then we have the combo. I need to press certain keys in order for my input action to fire. So let me just add one. I'm just going to select input action X. Let me just create another one called input action C. I'm going to add another element. So I've just quickly created another input called input action C. It fires when I press the C key. And now if I save this, if I go play, when I press XC, we can see it print stringed my input action. If I just press Z, nothing will happen. I have to kind of press the combo keys in order to perform that action. So I have to press XC, and then you can see it fired off the completed. And when I'm doing the combo, you can see it says ongoing, because if I fail the combo, then it will be cancelled. Because if I just open it up, we have this time to press the key, so that represents how long I have to press the key. So I can make this higher or longer. That's up to you depending on the combo you make. So those are the 9 different types of input triggers which you can use in the enhanced input action. So you could use this in a variety of different ways. Maybe you're making a fighting game, the combo key could be helpful. Maybe if you're making like a magic game, you want to make it so the player has to use the coordinate action, so they have to press down a certain button in order to access a different range of spells. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe for more valuable Unreal Engine tutorials. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.